there, I'm Chef Ani, and today we are making a gorgeous apple tart, which I am so excited about. Talk about a perfect recipe for this time of year when apples are in season and you're looking for that charming, comforting, warm and delicious and also impressive dessert to serve to your friends and family. This recipe is one for the books. My dad actually says it's one of the best things we make, and I have to agree because it's one of my favorites, and I think you're going to like it too. So let's jump right into this recipe. So enough talking, let's get cooking. So we're going to get started by making our tart crust, starting with some flour, a little salt, some all-natural cane sugar, and some almond flour. Then we're just going to mix this together before adding in some coconut oil and some plant-based margarine, along with a little vanilla extract for flavor. And then we're going to pulse this into a crumbly mixture. You can also use a pastry cutter to cut in the oil if you don't have a food processor. At this point, our dough should have a sand-like consistency. That's when we know we need to add in some ice-cold water. We don't want our dough to be super wet, so just add in a little water at a time until you get a crumbly mixture that holds together when you squeeze it. I like to transfer the crumbles to a separate bowl and gently squeeze them into a dough. You can either roll out your dough like I'm doing today, or you can press in the crust like I did with my raspberry crumble tart. I'll leave a link down below. We're not going to knead the dough, we just want it to come together. Before rolling our dough out between two pieces of saran wrap, or you could use parchment paper. Now you could use your favorite tart pan for this. I'm going to roll my dough out so that it will fit my tart pan. So I like to make sure I have a couple of inches on all sides so that it will fit in my tart pan. And I like to use a cookie sheet or something flat to support the dough as I put the tart pan on top and flip it over. And before I remove the second piece of saran wrap, I gently fill the tart pan, pulling up the sides and gently pressing them into the pan. Once you've done this, you can remove that saran wrap and look at this gorgeous crust. Now you just trim off the sides with a sharp knife, and I try really hard not to worry too much about making it perfect because imperfection is also delicious. Next, we place a piece of parchment paper and some baking beans, and we're ready to pop this in the oven to bake. Moving on to our filling, I'm going to take some all-natural cane sugar and just process it a little bit in a blender just to make it finer. Next, I'm going to cream the sugar with some plant-based margarine until it's light and fluffy. Applesauce and vanilla extract add a lot of flavor and consistency to our tart, along with some almond flour, regular flour, a little baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Now it's very important to take your time with mixing this filling. We don't want to lose the fluffiness that we've worked so hard to create here. So gently fold in that dry mixture, and you're done once you have a soft, beautiful mixture. Next, we'll thinly slice an apple, and I really like to do this nice and thin as it's perfect for presentation. Now once our crust has come out of the oven and it has cooled completely, we can fill it with our gorgeous filling. Now it's time to decorate, and you can get super creative with how you do it. I like to just crisscross my apples along the top. I think it looks nice. And then we're just going to brush the top of the apples with a little maple syrup. And all we have left to do is pop this in the oven to bake. And there you have it. Look at that gorgeous tart. There's just something about apple paired with that almond filling and that crispy crust that just gets raving reviews every time. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you want the full recipe, you can find it on my website, chefani.com. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time with another video.